Good morning. How are y'all doing? Everybody doing all right? I know we got a ways to go here. Treasurer's report. Miss Grace, can you give that?
I will.
I appreciate it.
Our income for 2021,
Just be louder.
$1,723. Our expenses have been $1,268.28. Our checking account balance is $3,109.11. And our savings account is $1,040.33.
All right. Thank you, Miss Grace. Membership fees. We still have some that haven't, if they're still members, haven't paid their dues yet. We would appreciate it if you would. And it's
Philip.
12.
It's $17 for a couple.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Single is
misprint.
12, couple is 17. And we appreciate everybody coming back. Miss Carol got in touch with Sue Jenkins at Children's Hospital, so maybe we could get back into using their facility, but they're not ready yet. So it might be the first of the year before we do it. We've got one more meeting September the 27th, must most likely be here because I looked into a place in Verona. For 3 hours, they wanted $350 to rent it for 3 hours. So
What's the Gator Park Community Center?
I seen that in, I wonder if that would work. I'm gonna call them and
It
find,
would
I seen it
I
advertised.
know they charge, but I don't know how much.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be essential to everybody. I probably.
Yeah, I seen it in the newspaper. I'll see if I can find it by the time of the next meeting. And Miss Kitty is doing the pedals articles, and I hope to send it out by July the 7th. So if you got a little extra articles you want to send her, please do. Yes. And
Sure, you get yours to me.
I did. I've sent them to you twice now. You just don't want to print that buttermilk ice cream recipe. That's what you don't want to do.
No, it's not there.
I'll write it out and send it to you.
Of course now, it could be
It's in your,
house.
it's in the email.
Because I've gone through 3 telephones in the last month. And my daughter called me this morning, only way I knew she called it.
I'll get you in a minute,
on the
Julie.
machine, And it was the wrong number,
Well, I apologize, but I know I've sent it out twice.
so explain that to me.
Okay. What you need, Julie?
Peggy Scott just messaged us. She said, I'm going to come through door any minute with door prizes. I'm also bringing
Trophies.
Marty Yeoman and Pat Quinn.
Yeah.
Today?
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll greet them when they get here.
Yeah. She said she told me she was coming.
She just let me know 30 minutes ago.
The special presentation for Barry, what is that? Is that for,
I have no idea. What is
Miss Kitty, you want to do that now? Miss Barry, would you come up front?
Yes. We have a special token of appreciation for Julie Ashman for all the wonderful things she's done as previous president and all the work she did on that Rose show back in 2019. It was like herding cats. I should know I was one of the cats. But this is a sudsy.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Oh my God, I so love it.
You have a sudsy now. That is a rose that Leanne and I hybridized several years ago. It looks like a Austin.
Well, this was the Roses show, and Carol and I was at Annette Centrelli's funeral when you told us the story of Sudsy. And lovely Sudsy is Barry's nickname for Leanne when they were dating. So
Ooh,
this is a love story right here.
ooh, a love story.
Love story. I love it. Thank you so much.
Leanne's is a fan herself.
I have an extra one for her.
What you need? I'm sorry.
I'll come up here in front and say it.
Okay, I appreciate it.
I've been coming to Richmond Rose Society meetings for years, and years, and years. The stuff back on that table is the nicest stuff I've ever seen at a Rose Society meeting.
Yay,
Overall.
everybody. Wow.
Good.
Right.
We appreciate
you.
that. Thank you, Rick. We appreciate that. That makes everybody feel good. Except I didn't bring none. Okay. I'll keep moving, I'm sorry. Okay, now. Julie is outside. She's going to talk about, for a couple seconds, creating Rose memory books. Julie, on creating Rose memory books.
Alright.
Do you need the mic?
No.
Okay. I'll just stand here. You can.
Just stand right there and be a mic stand.
I'm okay.
All right, raise your hand if you participated in making a bouquet during the month of October last year.
Can't remember.
I don't remember
It's a long
either.
time ago.
Betsy, you made one every time.
What?
A bouquet in October that we posted every week.
Oh, the Tuesday ones?
Uh-huh. Rick Brown.
Oh, yeah.
I think I did. I'm not
Yes.
Fox.
Joan. Marie, you didn't do one? Well, I know Lynn Pappas did a few.
I did.
See, this is why you need to make the Rose memory books. No, Rick Brown did a beautiful one. It was with a statuary.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Rick? Do you remember making that awesome arrangement with your flowers, with that beautiful statuary on your kitchen table that you posted?
Apparently
I
not.
don't remember that.
Okay.
I did a
I
lot of
remember.
stuff I don't remember so much.
Carol, she did one every week. Okay. Well, this is one that I did. Okay, it's on the cover. Actually, my sister-in-law did this for me as a gift. She said I just randomly went through your pictures last year and took pictures of your roses and your garden and bouquets. So, I mean, it came out really, really beautiful. So, yes, she did. So, my task is to go through and sign what the name of the rose is, which I have not done. I had it for a couple months, too. All right. And so, she did another one, and so she put the bouquet in front of that. And so I thought it was really quite challenging, but she said, no, it is not. She said, just sit down at Walmart or Walgreens and follow these directions. Now, I thought if you don't want to do it for yourself, maybe you want to do it for like a friend or a family member.
Somebody in the hospital.
Yeah, so they could
You
enjoy your
know,
roses.
some elderly couples are in hospitals or something like that. They would appreciate something like that.
Right.
They really would.
So we're going to pass those out in a moment. And then Aaron Powell, he has put his favorite rose, Hot Princess, in one of these. And it was an aquarium. And he did that last year. And a year later, Hot Princess still looks like the day he picked it.
Mm.
So it's called Flower Aquarium. And he said, just Google Flower Aquarium. And that would also make a nice gift for someone. But also, I mean, you could also be like Aaron,
Aaron, yeah.
not want to give Hot Princess away.
This year, we'll go back to our format for the regular size rose books. Rather than last year, we had the magazine size because it was a special event and a district show and all of that. So these are just some extra ones that I brought. And does everybody have a handout?
What you need, young lady? Handout.
Okay.
Me either, Carol. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's just one page. Handout. Here you go. You pass this down. Handout.
Thank you.
Sure. And I hope everybody signed up for the door prizes. We have a lot. Hey, Marty. Thanks to
We got a lot.
Thanks to Connie. Door prizes. Did you recognize some of those?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm really glad they're not at my house anymore.
But you got the room.
Everybody have one now? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to kind of start at the end. If you look down in the middle of the page, you can see that we actually have 3 shows in September for the district. The Colonial District is September 18th, and it's sponsored by or hosted by Patrick Henry in Martinsville. And Martinsville is quite a drive, but they are a small society and very gracious. And I promise you, if you go to the meeting, you will be welcomed with open arms. And it's a lovely, lovely show. So 2 years ago, Julie and I went, not together. I went the day before and stayed in a hotel because I'm not one of these get up at 3 o'clock and drive.
Where was that at?
Martinsville.
I think I went to that too. if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. But anyway, so if that's an option too. But my point is put it on your calendar and try and go if you can and exhibit roses.
They love everybody and they're so easygoing.
They are. Yeah. Very gracious. Arlington's is September 25th. I don't have any details. But our rose show is Labor Day weekend, September 4th and 5th at Lewis Ginter. Fingers crossed. Several months ago, it was confirmed that we're in, but Barry notified me that we're actually not on their calendar as of today. So, but fingers crossed.
You want me to get back in touch with them again? Is that the one setting up?
No, I'll do it. Yeah. But our theme is America's Rose, 35 years, our floral emblem. So, that's one reason why I have a patriotic theme. And now would be a good time to go shopping because it's 4th of July. You know, they've got a lot of red, white, and blue things out. Anything Goes is our unjudged arrangements, and they're in memory of Annette Critelli, who started it. And I won't go into the rules, but basically it's unjudged. You use the creativity you like and just put in an arrangement, and the public loves it. Absolutely loves it. You'd be amazed how much time people spend looking at those and remarking on them. So I'm going to send this around, and I hope you'll commit to make an arrangement for Anything Goes. And I'll start with Cleveland, who always does an excellent arrangement. Hey! All right. Now, on to the show, except I think you have the sign-up list for setting up.
Yes.
Setting up for the show is on Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning. And it doesn't involve moving any tables or anything like that. It's helping Dean unload all the boxes that he stores and putting covers on the tables, filling the vases with water under Lynn's direction, and Joan and Marie usually take care of the trophies on their own. So Philip will pass around the sign-up sheet. Many hands make light work, you know, and it's, and if you can come, that would be great.
Appreciate it.
One thing I forgot to say about our program is we have the best program in the district, and it's thanks to Barry and Leanne. Who put together the program, which looks wonderful, just marvelous. Thank you again. Now, I wanted to talk about some things to think about for the show. Most of you are old hands at a rose show, but for the benefit of those who aren't, a fall show is different from a spring show in a number of ways. One of them, it's smaller because you don't have as many blooms. But a fall show really shows your work throughout the growing season. Spring, you know, we get the flush of bloom and everybody does. By the fall, you know, we're tired, and the roses are tired too. So you have to keep watering and deadheading and taking care of your bushes. All right. The show program is your guide, and I wish we had our programs ready. I would give them out, but we don't. I hope that we'll have them maybe the 1st of August, and when we get them, I'll send out an email so that we can make arrangements for everybody to get one, because you really need it ahead of time so you can look at it. Also, I'm hoping that our webmaster will be able to put it on our website too. He usually does that. All right. I don't know whether you first look through the program at the categories. That's a good question. And I've been told the week of the show, definitely water every day if you need to, unless we get rain, of course. Because it gives more substance to the rose. I brought some things to demonstrate. I was hoping I had something else here. I know I brought it, but I don't know where it is. Yeah. Okay, speaking of rain, sometimes we have a downpour right before the show, which can be deadly to your roses. So Pam Powers gave this tip to me to use a newspaper sleeve and to put it over a rose out in the garden. And it's probably going to be a white or a light colored one. Just slip it over there so it's protected from the rain. But you have to remember, take it off when the sun comes out or it'll cook under there. So, and another tip that I wanted to show you is how many people have Japanese beetles now? They're bad. Well, hopefully we won't have them by the end of August. That's my hope anyway. But sometimes you have an insect problem. And this is a tip that Diane Summers, our ARS vice president, gave. She uses, these are paint strainers. And Betsy and I both bought some online. And I want to show you, this is a Double Delight. And yeah, but not something you would exhibit. But you know the beetles love Double Delight. But I put one of these over it last week, and it protected it. So, and these are good because you can put it on, leave it on.
And you can make them very easily. That kind of stuff is very inexpensive to buy and very easy to find, like Joann's, Walmart.
Good point. And Cleveland, you were asking if it protects against thrips, and it does not. They're so tiny they get through. But you may want to give that a try.
What size do they come in?
Oh, they come in, this is a small, and this is a large.
They don't come in larger than that? What if you want to cover the whole bush?
Well, you probably wouldn't want to do that.
Whatever you're going to use, that you, maybe if you keep them off some of the branches, they won't go to the other.
Well, it would be for special roses. You know, like I saw the Double Delight. You need to go through your program and kind of look at what the categories are, and also keep walking in your garden to see what you have. Like one year, the only really nicely blooming plant that I had was Queen Elizabeth. So I was looking for any class I could find where I could get some Queen Elizabeths in. You've got hybrid tea single stem, you've got a hybrid tea spray, you've got floating in a bowl, which is a brandy snifter. So, you know, you can do a lot even if you think that you don't have very much. Now, what you do for cutting your roses is you go out into the garden with your bucket of water, and you will go either in the early morning or evening when the sun's not so bad. Cut it off, put it immediately in the bucket of water, and then take it, do a few of them. And I take mine into the garage first, and I let them rest for a while. And then you cut the stem underwater again. Now, that is for the purpose of being sure that stem takes up enough water. Now, when you're
On the water, when you do that, do you do a mixture of hot and cold, or you just use
I just use room temperature
room
water.
temperature? Okay.
that's what I do. When you get ready to take these roses to a show, you don't want the prickles on one to snag the leaves of something else. So one thing you can do is take freezer paper and just make a cone out of it and put the rose in that cone and then in your bucket. And another thing people do is this is freezer paper, so one side is glossy and the other isn't. So on the outside you can actually write the name of the rose too, so you won't forget. Oh yeah. Well,
The ones I think are funny is leave the tags on the show.
leave the tags on.
No. Take a shot. No.
Well, that brings me to things that you might want to bring to the show to help you. It can be kind of overwhelming, I think, when you get there. You've got your bucket of roses, you've got your program. It's like, wow, here I am. How am I going to do this? Because although you get there at 6 a.m., time goes by pretty fast. I will say at our show, we have all the vases out with water in them. Every show is different. Some shows out, and you've got to find the sink and fill them up. Is different, but ours is what it is, thanks to Lynn and her team. It's good to bring a container with your tools. This is what I bring. It's handy. You might want to, bring something like this, whatever you can, whatever's handy for you. One of the tools to put in your box is a list of your roses, which is very helpful. Because you forget. I forget. All right. Also, your handbook for selecting roses. It'll tell you, gosh, is this a mini or a mini flora or a shrub? It's right here. All right. It's best if you can clean your foliage while you're at home, because that'll save you a lot of time. Probably your leaves have some foliage residue on them. Chemical residue on the foliage.
Or non-chemical, like bird food.
True. Yeah. Plenty of that. You can take a piece of cloth. Cotton works best, and I watched Julie use a sock, and I thought, wow, that's a good idea. So I took it from her, and you very carefully rub your leaves. And it will make them shiny. You haven't, put anything on them, but you've made them look nice. So that's one tool. Another is deckle-edge scissors. Let's say you have just a little bit of a problem on a leaf. Not a big problem.
That one might show good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. If you can see it, this has a brown tip on the edge of the petal. So I'm going to just take my deckled edge scissors and prune it. So it's not quite so obvious. I could prune it a little bit more, but you know, I've removed that just so it's not sticking out there for everyone to see.
It's just not very noticeable.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't all draw the eye.
Not distracting.
Right.
Right.
You're probably wondering, why do I have this up here? Well, this is Double Delight, like I said, and I have demonstrated how you can make these leaves really shine. It has 2 side buds, and usually side buds are not allowed for a hybrid tea exhibit. Now this bloom is a little past its prime, so you wouldn't use this as a single hybrid tea anyway. But let's assume that you were.
Full bloom.
Yes, yes, you could by taking out the center. Yeah. You can remove these side buds either with your fingers or with a sharp knife. But don't do it until the day of the show, because these little nubs are going to turn dark brown. So if you do it,
Something about that.
yes,
At the show.
Yeah.
Take a drop of still water and put it on the end of those.
yeah, I was gonna
It will prevent it from turning brown.
say use a cotton ball,
No.
but you're saying just
It's easier to put a drop of still water on.
okay. Thank you. All right, you heard it from the judge. So, but one way or another, you've got to get that hydrated so it won't turn dark on you. All right. Another tool I put in my kit is a pair of tweezers, which are useful for a number of things. Sometimes you just need to.
Critter that's hidden in there too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've said that this rose is too far gone to be regular hybrid tea, single stem, but it could be perhaps. Well, I'm going to use my fingers. Could be a fully open bloom. And that means the stamens must show. That is another time that I use the cotton ball, put it in water, and just sit it on there. Because it helps the stamens, if they're fresh, which these aren't, stay looking good. And there's my point right there. Yeah, perfect timing there. Let's say that you have some roses that are really good blooms, but they don't have a stem or foliage and all. Betsy brought in one. Well, this is a good example of one fully open. Yeah, but it shows you the stamens. Julie brought in this one, Chrysler Imperial, and it would look pretty in on black velvet in a frame. So just because you don't have good foliage doesn't mean you can't exhibit. And I hear people saying, oh, I'm not going to the show, I'm not competitive. Well, it's about sharing too, sharing your roses, because, you know, rose lovers and people who aren't in a rose society, they like to see the different blooms. And it means so much more to see it in person rather than in a catalog. And if you can talk to the rosarian who exhibited, you can find out the true truth about this rose. You know, you can say, wow, does it bloom like this all season? Maybe it's, no, this is the only rose I got all season. Or,
Not to mention that people assume that all roses smell alike. It smells like a rose.
right, but they're,
There are so many different scents in roses.
yeah,
So many different,
or
and you can't get that from a catalog or online.
no. So even if you are not competitive, if you have nice roses, just bring them. Because people like to see them. So I encourage you to do that.
The visitors, that's what, they're not just coming in to see trophies.
No, oh
They're
no.
coming in to see all these
Yeah.
different things. And some of them almost don't go over there because they have kids with them. And they won't go near the trophies. I find that so funny.
Oh.
Because they don't want to take the kids over there.
Oh.
So they spend a lot of time on the tables.
Yeah. That's a good point. Let's see. Okay. Another thing that you do when you are preparing your rose for the show is you fix it in the vase so that it is standing up and looking good and tall. You have to read the show program, but different materials can be used, but you just want to be sure it doesn't go over the rim. Sometimes I use aluminum foil like this, and it just makes it sit up and look better. Betsy brought this in as an example, past its prime, but of a spray. And it was beautiful.
What is it?
What is it?
I'm not sure that's mine, but I think it's Lady Elsie May.
Oh, okay. Yeah, pretty.
A shrub.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
One of my favorites.
Let's see. When to cut your rose. Somebody said, cut them tight and they'll be all right. And that stuck in my mind. Well, if all of the sepals are down, that rose will open. If they're not, it's not going to open. So if you wanted to, you could cut this rose, all the sepals are down, and it will open on its own, or you can kind of finger open it to just play with it, and it might be something you can exhibit.
So who is that?
Oh, this, I think it's My Pretty Lady. Yeah.
Pretty lady.
Pretty Lady? It's My Pretty Lady, I think. I should know.
All those guys would like for it to be my pretty lady. Just pretty.
What I do, and I read this somewhere and I thought it was a good idea. I get the vases and bring them to my little work area, and I go ahead and put the hybrid teas in the vases. So they're sitting there for me, and I know what is what. And then I get the small vases for the miniature roses, and I work on them, and that kind of gets you started. I get overwhelmed. It's just a personality trait, like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? This is Whirl Away. It's very small. It's a new bush. But I cut it to say that you can have minis and mini floras floating in a bowl too. We have plastic champagne glasses. So, like I say, if you have a good bloom, you might as well use it. We also have, English box is what I'm thinking. So that's something else. I've got up here about the entry tags. We have entry tags and rubber bands at the show, and I brought a whole bunch with me. Yeah, and I'm going to pass them around. What you can do if you're pretty sure you're going to exhibit. The big tags are for the large roses, and the small tags are for the minis and mini floras. But it says name and address. That's you. So you can put an address label there. One of those that you get in the mail goes here and here. The variety is the name of the rose, and the class you get from the book. You'll put a rubber band around this and slip it on your vase and take it to the placement table. And your entry number? Yes. Your entry number you will get at the show. It's just a place, it's your number. It's just a numbered piece of paper, and you sign your name.
Where's design division?
It's anything goes.
Okay, but you don't have cards for entries?
No. No. What you do on anything goes, you just use the 3x5 card, and you write your name and perhaps the title of your exhibit. And if you want to include the names of the roses, you can, but they don't have to be homegrown roses. You can buy them, or you can, get your friends or something. Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah, it's worth the drive, and I'll feed you, but you won't leave with roses, I swear.
I'll just sneak through the winery.
Winery's closed,
Oh.
they're retired.
I know, but I can still sneak through there.
You could.
Anyway, you can keep some tags in your toolbox, and then you're ready. You've already got the name and address. So go ahead, and do you need some? No? Okay. And so take a few. Oh, he's not a novice. No, not by a long shot.
Well, see, the last time our last show, I showed, and where I had the most difficulty was in allowing enough time to fill these tags out. Even though I had my labels already, where you would think that would be the most time-consuming part. No, just flat doing this.
It does
It's the
take
most
time.
time-consuming
It does
part.
take time, more than you think.
That's why you travel with a friend.
Dana Classy always did them the night before.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
We do them the night before. We do.
I don't. I don't.
Smell a pen in your press kit.
Yes.
I take the next.
We have the majority of the way filled out, and then my job when we're there is doing the finished work on them.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because when you get there, it's like, oh man, this was so pretty when I put it in
Yeah,
the car. And
right.
now
And now it's
So, I'm
You can always fill out your address.
right. You can do that. Put the address labels.
Your stage of the show, because some places do not require, they just want your name and the number, and if your address is missing, people don't send those stickers anymore.
Oh, I get lots of them. Anyway, also in your kit, pens. Leanne.
Is there going to be a photography class this summer?
Yes. Which classes you put in an entry, because otherwise you might forget. I always do a lot of writing. I don't know if I did it on here, but you know, I tag the rules and tag section B, the standard roses, and so on. And that way, it just, you know, you just flip to it, and there it is. Write down the roses that you are exhibiting, because you'll forget. Because I went on, it was at Martinsville. I had a rose on the trophy table and didn't even know it till I was, you know, looking at the trophy table and thought, well, that's mine. What a nice surprise. Rick.
Is the program going to reflect the change in the judging rules?
Yes, Marion and John have been working on it.
Okay.
Yeah. A couple other things for your toolkit, a little trash bag, because, you know, you've got debris. I always bring cloth or paper towels, because I spill water. I spill lots of water. And I bring a good pair of pruners, you know, so I can snip where it needs to be. I also bring some Lipton tea bags, just in case the show doesn't have tea, but has hot water. And you also might want to put a snack bar in there, because some shows don't have refreshments. Let's see. It's been a very quick time, and transportation to the show. Before you put your roses in your car, turn it on and get the air conditioning pumping as good as you can get it. And then after it's cold, then put your buckets of roses in there so they'll, you know, have a good chance of looking good. Give yourself time, because like Connie said, for some reason everything seems to take longer than you think it will. And there's no way we're going to run out of these vases. We have hundreds. But Dean knows he's got them all in his shed. But the kind of different ones, the brandy snifters and the little champagne glasses, the picture frames, the English box, we don't have many of those, and it's first come, first serve. So if you get there at 6, you know, you can get what you need. If you wait till later, they might be gone. Okay, questions? Lynn.
Mm-hmm. I think the entries close at 9:30.
Yes.
Not 9:31, not 9:32, 9:30, that's it. And I have seen people who come in a little later and had to leave a whole bunch of roses on the table because they didn't, and these are roses that would have been queen of the
Yeah.
show. and they didn't get a chance to enter them because they didn't allow enough time. They didn't realize that the deadline is a deadline.
Right. We don't extend it because we're kind of on a tight time schedule. And we're at Lewis Ginter. It's open to the public at 1. So the judging's got to be done, finished, and that's the way we've done it. So you're right, 9:30 is the cutoff. But we're open at 6. Lynn?
Also, are we going to be showing the way as well?
Yes. Yes.
So we need people to take down the show at
Yes.
3:30?
3:30.
On Sunday.
Yeah. On Sunday.
I thought it was 12.
No, 3:30.
Okay.
Tish.
I have a question about the judging.
Mhm.
I clerked last year, and that was abominable. The judges need to have a row. It doesn't matter what the categories are. They do the whole row. I mean, we're jumping back from table to table. Did we get this? Didn't they missed a whole bunch? What's the deal about not just saying this? You're judging this row.
That's the judges.
It's on the clerk.
Yeah, they try to even it
clerk
up. so
should-
you
No,
can-
no.
No, wait, let me finish. I've judged a lot of road shows in my time. The judge really don't know where the classes are on the table most of the time.
True.
Because they walk in that door dead cold. That's where it's important for the clerks to familiarize themselves with the show, where the entries are on the table. And when the judges are assigned certain classes, the roses to be judged, alphabetically, M to Z, or whatever the case may be. That's where it's important for the clerk to know the 2 judges that they're usually going to have, they're going to be clerking for. That's where it's important for the clerk to tell the 2 judges, okay, this is your next class, judge. And then you go, the judges will go and judge that class.
I understand that.
And the clerk will check off.
But what is the
When they
point in
finish.
having them jump around the room?
Because that's the way it's always been done.
Well,
Marty
what
made
it,
that bill
Yeah.
mention that better.
the chairman of the judges makes that distinction, and they try to equalize the amount. So the clerks need to get in that showroom at 9:30 and take their handout, which Betsy will give them, go around the show so you know exactly where your judges will be judging. And if it's all jammed up, then it's your responsibility to say, let's go over here. It's free now. That would be my suggestion.
Another suggestion, because last time there were several classes that were missed, because when I went back, I'm like, ooh, that was missed, because I wound up winning because 2 of them were missed. But when you're clerking, you have your schedule too, and as your judge judges that one class, check it off that it's been done. And at the end, if there is something that's not checked off, you go get your 2 judges and you bring them back over there.
That's-
Because you're responsible for your judges
That's a
to
good point.
finish all of their work before you tell them, get out.
But last time,
Thank you.
there was one group that was missed and was not given to the judges nor on the clerk's list.
That's Marion and John. Talk to them.
But if you're going down the middle,
Well, not everybody can be perfect.
Right.
Exactly.
Speak for yourself.
Leanne?
Coming from the people that do the tally,
Yes.
I don't care if it's the clerks, I don't care if it's the judges, I don't care if it's Joe Schmo sitting on the other side of the room. Before judges leave to go to lunch, somebody needs to check with us that every category has been dealt with. Because please let me finish. Because we are stuck with an issue after everyone's left with having undealt with categories. And as I said, I don't care whose it is or whose job it is or whatever. people are gone and we're doing a tally and we have categories with nothing there.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah, you were the one that I
As I
went
said,
to,
I don't
that
care
I went
whose it
to
is,
last
just
time
somebody
and
needs to.
said,
Make sure everything is judged.
She sent me the first judge.
That should be the
And that's the way to
chairman.
do
We don't care who.
Excuse me?
Trying to-
Judge.
Yeah, yes, chairman and judges.
Yeah,
To make sure
Yeah.
they're,
we've been stuck with that issue
Yeah.
multiple years.
But
And it
who's the chairman?
shouldn't be.
Chairman,
Marion and John.
Marion and John.
Mhm.
That's their
And
responsibility.
again, that should be mentioned, but there's been times when there are multiple entries, but there's just not a judge to really.
Those are good comments. Thank you.
excellent comments.
I think I'm finished.
Ooh.